It's a feminist thing to want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, but the sign is about SNAP.
I brought it back in.
Did you bring it back in?
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that a lot of women end up on SNAP from situations like that.
Yeah, to be honest with you, this was later in the day. Not all of the conversations were taking place in good faith or were productive at all. And surprisingly, very few people had anything to disagree with once they knew the money on which we were spending these resources for SNAP. But this conversation was different from most we've had in the past, and I would say productive. And this young lady is lovely as a button. Please welcome and be kind to Carter. Nice to meet you, Carter. Please grab a seat. And do you mind scooching in just so we can, for the camera, they can see? I don't know how familiar you are with these installments, this series, but I just try and set people a little more at ease. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not gotcha. It's not scoring points. It's not dunking. It's not meant to be clipped for reels, though people will do that. Was created almost a decade ago to have authentic conversations in good faith and see where we agree, disagree, and are able to present our opinions on controversial topics.
Absolutely.
It will not be uploaded, cut out of context like a Jon Stewart type thing. That being said, a controversial topic, and I'm at my wit's end. I'm fed up with this. The more I look into SNAP, my position on this is end SNAP completely, outright, wholesale. If we want something like food stamps for bare necessities, create a separate program. It's so beyond repair and so corrupt. I think in 2025, done with SNAP. If you disagree, you're welcome to change my mind.
Okay, let me give you some context. So I come from Adair County, Oklahoma. When I was growing up, it was the #1 poorest county. We've moved up in the world, and now we're the 3rd poorest county.
Good for you.
I know, out of all 77, yay!
Yeah. It's baby steps.
Yes, I'm a Cherokee citizen. Cherokee Nation is very prevalent in my little bay town. Even with Cherokee Nation, we still depend on SNAP.
Yeah. Why?
Yes. Because it's a very rural, very small town, and we have a lot of small jobs that pay minimum wage, so people are not able to afford rent and eat.
Okay.
We heavily have to depend on horticulture, agriculture. We have a Tyson factory. We do so much of that kind of work, but that does not pay well. So, we're paying to keep the lights on. Not me personally.
No, I get it.
But people in my community are paying to have the lights on, but they still need to eat. There's still food insecurity in rural towns. And I think one thing people are forgetting is those rural towns. They're seeing the majority, but they're also not looking at the minority.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I think some people in the government are looking at the numbers and not the people and the geographical areas of where they're talking.
Forgive me, what do you mean by those in the government? Because the government position has been overwhelming support for SNAP to the point that it's ridiculous, where the #1 purchased item is sugary sodas. That's $100 to $130 billion a year, $9 billion of which just go to soda alone. You can get everything on SNAP. You can get caviar on SNAP. You can get Halloween candy on SNAP, which I think is immoral and I think is ridiculous, which is why if we want to go back to a food stamp program for bare essentials, well, that should help people who are in need. But it sounds to me like you're talking about a nation, or the Cherokee Nation, and this neighborhood, or community, was most poor to 3rd poorest. Sounds to me like you're almost advocating for perpetual use of SNAP, which we know has been very prevalent in the Native American community. And would you say that's made the Native American community stronger or weaker? How's it doing?
It has made it stronger, but since we're not always recognized, it's not building back up.
What do you mean?
We're in a very poor rural area, but we're not able to change it dramatically because we're not having more people invest and spend time and work more in our rural areas because they're going to bigger and better places.
Why do you think that other rural areas are able to do so? There are other rural areas that aren't that poor, and certainly not for decades at a time. Why do you think it's so specific to the Native American community, who get far more, disproportionately more government benefits and contribute less? Why do you think that is?
Sometimes there's a rich person who gives a big amount, whether it be scholarship or funds. They're coming in. Sorry, I'm shaking.
No, that's okay. By the way, it's okay. I still get nervous all the time every time I do this. If this helps you, let me present to you my position.
Okay.
Would that help?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
And just let me know too if you want, because I don't want to dominate the conversation, but I also know you don't sit and talk as much for a living, so if it helps. I would say that it has kneecapped and irreparably damaged the Native American community. I would say the Native American community has been handicapped. They're not a particularly industrious people because they don't have to be, and because they are ultra reliant on government services. And I would say that let's grant your scenario, which I wouldn't say is necessarily true in most scenarios, but a wealthy person coming in and investing in a community, sure, that can be helpful.
Yes.
Those people would be very, very hesitant to invest in a community that seems to be dependent in perpetuity forever on government assistance with no interest in getting off of it.
Okay.
That would be, I would say that. I would say that there's a reason that not only is that one of the poorest communities, but Native American reservations, despite having advantages in a lot of ways, pretty much everyone looks like an episode of Cops. It's bad. It's bad. Let's just be honest, right? They don't look beautiful. They're not nice. And we've been doing it this way with government assistance and subsidies. Maybe do it a different way. Maybe if you cut people off and go, no, you got to start doing what everyone else does. You got to start toiling by the sweat of your brow. Maybe they would become more industrious, because I don't think it's helped the Native American community. And I say that because it's a microcosm. There's a huge over-reliance on government subsidies, welfare, social safety benefits in the Native American community. But now apply that at large. That's what happens with SNAP EBT. People stay on it. 60% of people on it are able-bodied. We can't reform it at all. If the government can't cut Coca-Cola from SNAP, then we can't cut anything. Enjoy your debt. You're a lot younger than me. If we can't have work requirements 80 hours a month, which is what's opposed by the Democrat Party, then we can't have any requirements.